Namaste and welcome to Zen in 10 with me, Natalie Linden. Now today I would like to focus on using balls. So in my well woman yoga classes and my baby yoga classes and even in pregnancy we use balls of different shapes and sizes. In my baby yoga classes this week we've been looking at the little small balls, so I've had a tennis ball for everyone in the class. This is a myofascial release ball known as a tune-up ball. These are quite expensive, so you can just get an acupressure ball on Amazon, or you just find a tennis ball in your garage. Or even a foam pet ball is good as well. So the purpose of these balls in my classes is all about releasing pent-up emotion. So we lock and we store energy in the body. Now if we've had a traumatic birth experience, or if we've had a shock, or even if we feel emotionally charged, such as stress and all these sort of emotions, we store in our bodies, like we freeze, it's like frozen energy, and this frozen energy can stagnate and cause all sorts of different problems that can happen in our bodies, like stiffness in the joints, fibromyalgia, all these kind of things. So it's really nice to use this just to release all that stress. So let's give ourselves a break. So with your baby, if you're using, you don't have to, it's optional to have your baby, but I think it's quite a good idea to show you some techniques that for digestion. So if your baby has got a digestive issue, complaint, reflux, colic, or even teething babies, I recommend rolling your blanket. So giving them a little bit, like a 45-degree angle is really useful, particularly for colicky babies, just so that they're not swallowing their saliva and they've got a little bit more freedom in their chest. Okay, so from here we're going to start by taking the ball. We're going to start to tap, so emotional freedom technique, and we're going to start from the heart meridian, which is kind of halfway along the collarbone toward the shoulder. So starting in it can be, if you palpate it with your fingers, it can feel quite tight. Okay, so just pressing, so where you feel that tension, just starting to tap across, so coming all the way across toward the breastbone and then back to the one side. So this is also, here we have the thymus gland, so it's quite nice, you can probably hear it when you tap it across the thymus gland. And then coming to the other side, and this is just a really good way of freeing up that stress, that energy that we store. Just releasing it, and it gives us more energy as well. And when we're tapping, it's very calming, calm inducing, so very good. And then I like to bring it, so you're just going to lift up and take the one hand just behind the back and just tap it across the sides of the lung and just across the back of the body too, just to help release the lungs. So this is really good if you have COVID or long COVID even too. And I've just had it actually, this is my day 2. And then coming across to the other side, just allowing that tapping just to release any energy that gets stuck or blocked in the lung on that side. Good. You can even take it behind the back of the neck and shoulder. Really good just to release up that tension. And now we're going to take it, so we're going to come to what is known as CV6, or stomach acupressure points. So find your belly button, and it's 2 fingers down from the belly button. And in yoga we call this the Swadhisthana chakra. So we're going to bring our balls onto this chakra, and we're going to take a hand with the other hand, so we've got a little bit of pressure, and we're going to press into it, so you start to feel, and this is really good for constipation as well. So we're going to start to use directional breath and awareness now. So breathing into this point on the inhale. At the end of the inhale, sealing the pelvic floor, so you feel the ball burrow a bit deeper and lift, and then blowing out for an invisible straw. And imagine you're blowing bubbles into a soda cup. So breathing into this point, keep the pressure. Seal the pelvic floor and blow out with a straw breath. very good to unlock, and it's really good for IBS as well, if you suffer with any digestive issues or irritable bowel. One more. Good. And the next point I want to explore is the low back acupressure points. So backs tend to get quite tight postnatally because of the involution process. So this is really useful. So we're going to find our waist. We're going to cradle our waist and just taking 2 fingers to the side of your spine. So you might need to find that spine, and then just bring 2 fingers, and the ball really goes into a point here. So it's at the waistline and it's 2 fingers away from the spine. So just pressing into this point, and we're going to use the who breath. So we're going to keep going with the straw sound, but so we're going to bring our lips closer together to make an ooh sound. So when you're ready, you can even take a fist in the other hand and bring it. If you've got another ball, it's quite nice to take it to the other side. So just a bit of pressure here into the adrenal glands and kidneys, and then just a and repeating twice more in through the nose. You can close the eyes just to feel a little bit more, bringing your awareness within the body, and then blowing out. And just notice what happens when you lift the pelvic floor in this space as well. So one more there. And hopefully now feeling ready, calm, anxiety, really feeling dropped down. So now ready to come and cater to the needs of your baby. So I'm just going to spiral lift my baby up into my seat. And I'm just going to show you a few techniques that can help to release mucus that can get stuck across the chest, respiratory diaphragm. So we're going to do very similar, but don't forget the ball weighs a lot more than the fingers. So when you're tapping with fingers, it's really good to release, but with the ball it's a little bit firmer. So just take it a little bit gentler. So it's just a little bit of, and just notice and observe how your baby reacts to this as you do it. So just coming across that thymus gland helps to build immunity because the T cells are obviously there to get rid of all that unwanted bacterial infection. So just coming across. Good. And then you can come into the digestive system. And there's a valve, if you find the baby's belly button and baby's hip crease, halfway between the 2 points, there's this duodenal valve. So it's the valve that the large intestine and the small intestine meet. So we're just going to bring, and sometimes this is where blockages can occur, and if your baby hasn't proved for some time, this could be the cause. So just having a little bit of a massage to start with, just to open up and release any tension there, and then just a case of moving in a circle. Don't forget balls are quite firm, so just a gentle pressure with the ball, and then coming down, and then very light pressure as you come and meet the 2. So ascending colon, so we're helping with the large intestine now, coming just below the ribcage and down the descending colon. So this is really useful to help move sticky stuff, ama we call it in yoga, around the bowel. And if you have an increase in ama in the yogic community, if you have lots of ama in this area, it can lead to, it's quite toxic for the body. So it's really good to release that tension. And just be mindful of what your babies are doing here, how they're feeling. Good. So just a few little rounds, and you can add a little song here, so you can just do a little round and round the garden like a teddy bear. And then you can just do a little point here, 1 step, 2 step, and then you can come to the feet. Tickle me under there, just a little tap. So with the feet, it's actually really nice to do a little circle around. So if you find the groove between the big toe and the second toe, and if you travel your finger down it, you'll find right at the next to the big toe mount, there's this little spot called the bubbling spring point, or kidney meridian 1. And it's quite nice to have a little bit of pressure there, and then just to do a little bit of a cyclical massage around that spot. And this in the foot in reflexology is your solar plexus region here. So just running around that area, helps to release trapped energy in the digestive system too. So really good to move. Good, and you can just do that with the other foot if you have time as well. Another point that you can think about too for teething babies particularly is just coming across the toes. So coming across the toes. Notice how babies will grip, and that's really good to help encourage the walking as well. But you can just do a little bit of a heel press, so you can just do a heel rub, to open out the toes, and just notice how it spaces out the toes, and then you can just do this, and you'll probably notice that the babies start to move their toes quite nicely, and that's what we want to achieve.